טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. אוי 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 שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. אוי 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 שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד.
Welcome. Shabbat Shalom. And Hine Ma Tov U'ma Na'im. How great and wonderful it is for us to be together. I hope you've had a good week. It's been a week of change and of new beginnings. We celebrated this country's democratic process and its ideals of working together towards common values. And I hope that it's been a good week for you personally. We're happy to be able to connect and come together virtually and bring each other community, friendship, and also strength and comfort, especially for those of us who might be in mourning or remembering a person at this time whom they have lost, or who are struggling in other ways in this difficult time. I know that some of you have been together already for a little while because you joined in the 30-minute pre-neg that we had this evening. So you've already been together, and it's wonderful. I hope that if you didn't know about this, we are beginning having these pre-negs, these before the service oneg Shabbats on the fourth Friday of each month. So maybe next month you'll be able to join us in that. And we're also happy to share in moments of celebration. And so this Shabbat, we celebrate with the Lima family, with Hunter and Isaac Lima, two brothers who will become bar mitzvah tomorrow. So we wish them a huge mazel tov and to their family. I think you have them up on the screen now, and we're going to ask them to help us with the next part of our service, which you can find if you'd like to open up the pop-up prayer book on the website and turn to page 2, and they're going to share with us the reading, and they're going to light the candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offering of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
And you can go ahead and light the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Shabbat Shalom, and thank you so much to the Lima family for joining us this evening and kindling the Sabbath lights. Can't wait to celebrate with you all tomorrow during a beautiful occasion of the Bar Mitzvah. And until then, may you have a peaceful Shabbat. We continue with our Kabbalat Shabbat service on page 13 in your prayer books. Yismechu Hashamayim. All the heavens came together in gladness as we started our celebration of Shabbat. Please join me. Yismechu Hashamayim v'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umelo Yismechu Hashamayim v'tagel V'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umelo yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umelo yamamai We join together now in Lecha Dodi on page 20 and 21. We'll sing verses 1, 5, and 9 together tonight. Please join me. Frank, I'm not sure what melody for Lecha Dodi that is, but I like it. But let's do the Rottenberg tonight. Trouble. Here we go. Shabbat.
So now, before we continue with the main part of the service, the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer, we have a special opportunity to pause for just a moment and offer a blessing for a member of the congregation. I hope maybe you have Leah and Michelle, her mom, Leah Sandler, up on the screen already. When we heard that Leah was about to leave in just a couple weeks for Israel, we told her she had to come on so that we could offer her a Nisiyah Tova and send her off and give her a blessing on behalf of the whole congregation. Leah is going to be traveling to Israel to take her high school semester there as part of the Reform Movement's Heller High. And she's going to fly out there, and they're going to quarantine she and her classmates and do everything they need to do to be safe. And then they're going to travel Israel and have classes for a semester. We are just so excited for you, Leah, and all of the things that are in store for you. I know that you are going to have an incredible time of growth, learning, and of fun, and the deepening of your relationship with the land of Israel and your Jewish heritage. It's really exciting to imagine what's in store for you, and I can't wait for you to come back, even though I hope you don't come back too soon, and share with us a little bit of your experience and what you've done and what you've learned. So we want to offer a blessing on behalf of the whole congregation to wish you a great and safe trip, and I'm going to ask Cantor Rhodes if she'll help me with that.
Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, shetolichenu l'shalom, v'tatzidenu l'shalom, v'tadrichenu l'shalom. May it be your will, Adonai our God and God of our ancestors, that you guide Leah safely on her journeys, that you lead her on paths of peace, and that you allow her to reach her desired destination with life, joy, and peace.
Protect her from all obstacles along her way, and bestow blessings on the work of her hands. Grant grace, loving kindness, and compassion to Leah, and in the eyes of all whom she encounters along the way. Blessed are you, Adonai, who watches over us on our journeys. We wish you an incredible time, Leah, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for coming and joining us. And now we will continue with the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer. If you're comfortable in your homes, you may rise at this point in the service, and you can turn to page 28. we turn our page for the Ma'ariv Aravim prayer, and instead of the usual Hebrew blessing, we enjoy a new melody and a new interpretation of this prayer by the wonderful Reform Movement's songwriter Josh Nelson.
Baruch atah Adonai, speak the evening into being. B'chokhmah poteach she'arim, as you turn the seasons round. Umachalif et hazmanim, let the stars keep watch above us. Baraki akir tzono, for the day and night are yours. Borei yom v'layla, borei yom v'layla, kol elor mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Borei yom v'layla, borei yom v'layla, kol elor mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Umavir yom umevi laila, crossing over into darkness. Umavdil yom umevi laila, drawing lines within the light. Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, God living and enduring. Tamid yimloch aleinu, forever and beyond. Borei yom v'layla, borei yom v'layla, kol elor mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Borei yom v'layla, borei yom v'layla, kol elor mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated, and please join in the chanting of Ve'ahavta on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot beineinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai Bitem kadoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiyot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. This reading before Mi Chamocha is on page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. And on page 43, we have this prayer for peace and rest and for safety in the evening. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. As we begin the tefillah on page 46, I invite you, if you are comfortable, to rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Koneh HaKol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. Page 52. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We share this reading for Shabbat on page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. And a prayer of thanksgiving for all the miracles every day that we share, page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot. Shalom Rav, page 60.
Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav. Ki atah melech adon, melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atah melech adon, melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav. Continue now with a few moments of our own silent prayer and silent meditation. in the sharing of blessings I've received. Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America, I gave my best to you. That beautiful song called American Anthem by Gene Shear, written in 1998, was quoted in President Biden's inaugural address this past week. We take a moment now to think of those in our community in need of healing. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah, hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill. Tonight, our congregation is thinking of Alon ben Barbara, Hannah Esther bat Crandall, Yehuda ben Fischel, Henry Botuck, Benjamin Cohen Mars, Benaifer Devar, Elizabeth Drabkin, Gregory Dimkin, Jason Eichmann, Rochelle Einstein, Michael Fisher, Amy Frederick, Ray Gallant, Shirley Gallant, Tito Gomez, Sonia Heimer, Matthew Kaiser, Louis Landsberg, Craig Lighting, and Eddie Stein. We pray too for all those who are victims of violence in Israel and around the world, as well as those suffering from the COVID-19 virus and pandemic, and those in service to our country in need of emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. I invite you to share a name with us this evening as well, so that these people may be in our prayers. We continue with the Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
I want to reflect on the Torah portion this week, Parshat Bo, which takes us right to the moment of the Israelites' journey out of Egypt, including the last few of the 10 plagues inflicted on Pharaoh and the Egyptians. The penultimate plague, and therefore you might say the most terrible one, except for the killing of the firstborn, is darkness. I wanted to talk a little about this plague of darkness tonight, and it's fitting, and it was wonderful that Cantor Rhodes sang that beautiful special prayer about the coming of darkness, Ma'ariv Aravim, earlier in the service. In the story, the Torah tells us, God said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward the heavens, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, a darkness that which may be felt." And Moses stretched his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They could not see one another, and for 3 days no one could rise from his place. We know that the darkness the Egyptians experienced was temporary. Perhaps it's no wonder that Pharaoh's heart was hardened and he changed his mind after that time, because the many gifts that the returning light brought back into his life filled him with optimism that he no longer felt the need to let the people go. I've always been puzzled that the winter season begins with the darkest of and the shortest of days, around when we sometimes light our menorahs, and then our world becomes lighter and brighter through the winter, even as it gets colder, usually right about now in mid to late January, reaching its coldest point. I wonder if this helps us make it through the season, which I find difficult having grown up in California. More light might help us to increase in optimism and spirit. In Jewish tradition, darkness symbolizes helplessness and inaction. The Torah says the Egyptians could not rise from their place because of the darkness. The Midrash tells us more, saying that from the moment the plague began, if a person was sitting, he could not stand. If she was standing, she could not even sit. If they were laying down, they had to stay that way. The Israelites, on the other hand, were spared this plague, and somehow they had light to see. According to the great rabbi known as the Netziv, many of them brought their Egyptian neighbors food and water to get them through this ordeal. So, while darkness caused inaction, light inspired generosity and help. Likewise, after the plague, we read in the Torah that when light came back to the Egyptians, they willingly gave the Hebrew slaves supplies for their journey. Light inspires us to give, to come closer, even to our enemies. It's not surprising that in Jewish tradition, darkness also symbolizes fear. In another midrash, Adam was afraid during the first darkness. This came to bring in the first Shabbat. He felt sure the snake would come after him. In response, God gave Adam 2 flints so he could make fire. This midrash might be why we bless the candle during the Havdalah service, saying, we praise God as Borei Me'orei Ha'esh, creator of the lights of fire. Light gives us hope. In her inaugural poem this week, youth poet laureate Amanda Gorman concluded by embracing the theme of darkness and light. She said, "When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it." As we make our way through this winter, the days getting longer and longer as the light returns, I pray that all of us in our nation, in this community, and in our own lives will continue to find hope. Hope for health and safety, and hope for unity and a better future. And I pray that we are inspired to continued generosity and giving towards the stranger and equally towards each other. With that blessing and that hope, we turn to the concluding prayers, which begin with Aleinu L'Shabeach on page 282. And I invite you, if you're comfortable, to rise.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, Latet Gedula Liotzer Breshit, Shehu Noteh Shamayim V'Yoser Haaretz, Umoshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Imal, Ushchinat Uzo Begofei Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Einon, V'anachnu Koreim, Umishtachavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
prepare now for the mourner's Kaddish. We offer our hearts and our comfort, and we offer our strength to those who are remembering someone who has passed recently and for whom we are observing Shloshim, the first 30 days since burial. We remember Norman Gordon Levin, father of Deborah Jardot, Naomi Horowitz, mother of Lisa Horowitz, David Dondershein, father of Scott Dondershein, Marion Jackson, a beloved member of the temple, Marion Jacknow, mother of Greg Jacknow and Brian Jacknow, Carol Karimsky, mother of A.J. Karimsky, Donald Ice, husband of Betsy Stillman, Sarah Schwartz, mother of Jill Kastner, Merton Bland, husband of Janine Bland, and Ruth Newton, mother of Joel Newton. And those for whom we are observing Yortzites this week: Miriam Anders, Masa Aoki, Richard Bernstein, June Biskind, Joseph Bizarre, Helen Burns, Benjamin Cohen, Leo Cohen, Marshall Cohen, Beatrice Cole, Ruth Compart, Janice Cooper, Eileen Cowan, Harlan Doughty, Louis Alinsky, Ruth Faltachek, Philip Flammy, Walter Free, George Furman, Bertha Gable, Lee Garfin, Morris Gelfand, Jean Gilpin, Arnold Glazer, Isidore Goldberg, Barbara Groves, Samuel Gurian, Raymond Heller, Gail Herzenberg, Richard Huberman, Coletta Hudson, Aaron Kaplan, Fred Kaplan, Isidore Katz, Nelson Kessler, David Kestenbaum, Conrad Koch, Robert Lader, Robert Levy, Alan Lichstein, Herb Mendel, Eugene Margolis, Saul Maskell, Bobby McDonald, Gary Newberger, Ezekiel Newberger, Sadie Newberger, Harry Paulton, Sylvia Penn, Helen Perlmutter, Margaret Pettingill, Stuart Pettingill, Pauline Phillips, Jacob Pittler, Leonard Polk, Bronia Rastafia, Bernie Rifsis, Aaron Rosenblatt, Saul Rosenberg, Morris Rosenthal, Norman Rotter, Ethel Rubenstein, Milton Sabin, Ellen Safran, Bernard Shiro, Sarah Schlosser, Lisa Schreiber, Sidney Schwartz, William Schwartz, Leah Silver, Myra Spolter, Sanford Stone, Alice Zloth. And we remember those who have lost their lives in recent days in service to our country, and all of those whom you would want to bring to this moment by saying their names, would you please? And if I have mispronounced a name, I apologize and ask you to say it again for me. Remembering them all with fondness and with gratitude, we rise and on page 294 recite the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam l'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama braba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, and we say together, amen.
So in just a moment, we'll do the concluding prayers of our service, the Kiddush, and a closing song and benediction. But before we do so, just a brief wish, an extra mazel tov to our bar mitzvah for tomorrow, Hunter and Isaac Lima. wishing them all the best in this wonderful experience that all of us are so thrilled to be part of tomorrow morning in our Shabbat morning service. And we turn now to page 5 and recite together the Kiddush for Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hilchilanu, zikaron le'maseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techilah le'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hilchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
We conclude our service this evening with the song Hava Nashira. Please join us. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. 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 Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava. Or Chadash al Tzion Ta'ir v'niskechu lanu mehera le'oro. May a new light shine upon Zion now and bring us all to a place where we can rejoice in the lightness. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.